Well, happy Monday, everybody. Oh my goodness, it's been a crazy start to the week, and I'm so excited tonight to say a huge hello yellow to our beautiful Eva Bergstrom. To many of you, she needs no introduction, but for those of you that have joined our beautiful community of Newsterity in past months, I am so proud and humbled to call this amazing woman my friend, a mentor, just an incredible, to some she's called the mother of Newsterity in Australia for many reasons. So Eva, welcome.
Thank you, Shiny Diamond.
Now I'm loving the hat. I was just saying then that we have to be prepared to change to our cowgirl hats soon. How many sleeps? It's only, I think, 7 more sleeps and we're off to Houston.
Yeah, so it's so exciting. Yes, I look forward to it so much, to Houston, yeah.
Well, look, let's start at the beginning where most good stories start. I'd just like to begin by asking you how you, for those who don't know, how you actually became involved with Newsterity and where your journey really began.
Okay, so I was doing a makeup artistry and I was in top of my field when I came across this product, and I have never promoted any product in my life. And I'm not a beautician or anything like that. I'm just a makeup artist. I love the art and so on. But I was heading to 57, so I'm now this year over 60. Over 60! Ah!
Okay. We know anyway,
yeah. Anyway,
so I have to ask you, what product are you using? You don't look a day over 40.
That's a good point. I never knew that I'm going to make money telling how old I am, so that's really good. So I'm loving it. So that's how it started. It really is that because of freelancing work, when you stop working, you actually don't have an income coming in afterwards. And I looked at my future and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't have many years left in a makeup artistry, and I don't know how I'm going to look after myself. And the retirement income is quite, tough to live on. So I remember asking myself that there has to be a better way. My life had become very mundane. I went to work, come home, and so on. It had become very boring, and I was always in the survival mode. I actually started withdrawing from world myself, and I had less and less friends. So those couple people who I had, honestly, we communicated via Skype because I was so tired after working days. I didn't have no energy to go out or anything like that. So I just put a Skype on and we go friends, lady friends, couple, we chatted together like that. So, but one thing I heard about it, that anti-aging industry was the hottest industry to be in. And being a makeup artist, we're always chasing that next job. Though I was very lucky, I was always so busy. But there's still that chasing that job. And I thought, oh, definitely the next industry I'm going to go, I don't want to do that. I wanted that there's plenty of work. And I heard that, okay, anti-aging industry is like that. So then, because I'm also a qualified medical herbalist, I had rang my school where I did my course, and I said, who is the top person here in Gold Coast? And they said, Pam Harris. So I went to see Pam as a patient. And I think I was there with my 3rd visit. And I asked Pam that, hey, your skin started looking really good. What are you doing? So Pam then suggested it for me to look into this Skincerity, and I think everybody's heard my story, but I'll tell you anyway. So that moment I started asking, so how do you use it? And she just said it's easy, roll on at night. I was okay with that. And then she said there's a business opportunity attached to it, and I said, oh yeah, what is that? I'm a business person in my heart. So I'm always interested about it. And she said it's a network marketing business. And that moment my heart sank and I thought, oh my gosh, network marketing? How low do I have to go in my life to do network marketing? I honestly thought that it just couldn't get any lower. And anyways, I did sign up. I said to Pam, I want to sign up with the largest pack. So I went home, and then Pam rings me and says that, well, you said it so quickly, yes, that I thought I'd give you a chance to, walk out of it. And I said, no, I mean, yes, it's yes. Yeah, I want to sign up, so sign me up. And then she rang me again, and this time I was quite ill, and I was lying in a bed, and she said, well, I haven't really signed you up because I need extra info or something like that, she was saying. And I said, oh, God, I said something like this, please sign me up. And then she rings me 2 days later and said, you were so sick when I spoke to you last that I'm not sure if you really meant it yes when you said yes. And I said, woman, how many times do I have to say to you, yes means yes? And that's how I end up being signed to the new Cerity. So then finding 2 people, obviously I was quite devastated when I finally got the big pack, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I hate selling. I don't have no friends. I don't have no extra money. I don't have no extra time. It's not possible. So I just was like, what am I going to do? So then I contacted my 2 friends, and they joined. And so then we started talking to their friends, and they joined, and they talked to their friends, and they joined. And after 4 years later, now I have over 20,000 people in my team, which I still today cannot really comprehend it, how it ever happened. But what happened is that I just live in the moment. So I do everything I possibly can do well. I'm trying to help everybody, and I'm trying to see that, that how can I help somebody to go to, especially now these days, I'm really keen on helping people to earn income from this business. Before it was very early stages, was ranking, because that's how I understood, but now it is more serious, more income. So I just love helping people,
Eva, when you first started out, so 4 years ago, can you share with us, we talk about vision, and as you get more experience in the business, you certainly drive that home to us. Can you share with us what your vision was 4 years ago and how it has changed now? Because
Yes.
obviously your vision does evolve over time.
It sure does, and it has changed a big way for me now. It was just purely that I didn't have to be in retirement plan. That was my huge vision. And also I haven't had a holiday for 10 years, and I was absolutely craving to travel, and that was a really big thing. So I think I was silver rank, and only a couple months towards the business, and I traveled to Las Vegas. And the first experience of these events, I was like, is this a cult or something? I was like, what is going on? These people all jumping up and down and screaming. And I had a Shannon Rattle next to me, and she's such a joyous screamer and jumper. And she was next to me, and I'm like, what is this place? What is going on? And next conference, I was jumping up and down and screaming myself, and that's what I do now in every conference. I love it. So they really have changed my life, those conferences. They give that spice of life, and they give that excitement and that feeling that you're in an adventure, and meeting new people and celebrating it and seeing those shiny diamonds at the front. And I remember when I saw them first time, that's when I made my biggest decisions on these events. Decisions that hit me in the gut level, and I went like, I want to be one of those diamonds one day. And I didn't realize it really how quickly I got there. It was incredible. So yeah, I just put out a lot of hours and hard work, but a lot of fun at the same time.
So on the subject of vision then, you started with you wanted a holiday. You went off to Las Vegas. Now you just touched on that you really are driven by helping people and helping them to earn an income. Obviously the rank will come, consequently, but the income's the focus. What is your vision for yourself and for the broader community now as one of, I guess, the dames of new Cerity in Australia?
Yeah, I just want to see that, we will have probably at least You know, I don't know actually the numbers so much. I don't know why 50 comes into my mind, but I want people be grossly overpaid. I just love that club. And it's possible. So you do have to put at your hard yards first, but in this business, you don't jump in an income 10% next year and another 10% next year. You can actually jump 100%, 200%. It's that kind of business. It's when the momentum starts. But right now, my vision is just purely helping people to become independent, financially independent, because the freedom to choose what you want to do without trying to sacrifice somehow to get that paid, that holiday, or buying a property, or renovating, or buying, you know, the handbags or food or whatever it is. I struggled so many years, I think 14 years, when I lost everything and trying to pull myself back together. And, you know, if I wanted to buy something, even shoes or something, I had to sacrifice it from a food money or something like this. Right now, you know, that joy of just choosing and doing it, it's such a freedom. And this freedom, I would love to give it to anyone who's willing to journey with me and you know, do the hard yards in the beginning stages. Yeah,
I've been so grateful and privileged to be part of the first and maybe the last, who knows, we might have worn you out, the Evers Gems group, which most people know by now. And obviously we had a very, very special 6 months together. The two things I took away that will last me a lifetime with your guidance last year was having laser focus and no room for doubt. And they are two of your mantras, which we all have repeated time and time again with our teams. There are many people online tonight, Eva, who are really just starting out on their journey. They may have hit the bronze and silver rank, which is really, really important. They may be a star or a superstar, but they've got the belief. But I think they're just wondering how to make that leap forward and get that really important momentum you talk about. What are a couple of tips you would give to people that might be feeling a little bit, it's the start of the year, they've come out of Christmas and they're not quite cranked up yet? What would you say to them?
I would say that don't give up. Honestly, when I see people asking something from life, they're putting a goal out there, they want to go to a certain rank, they want a certain income, they want a certain number of people to join their businesses or whatever. Then we go with quite a lot of enthusiasm first, and then we hit the obstacle. So now when an obstacle comes, people just put their hands up and they give up. For me, when an obstacle comes, that's like a challenge, like, okay, so how could we creatively go over this obstacle or through this obstacle or something else? So it doesn't mean that you're stopping it. It means that you keep going. And often people, then there's a time, you know, because we're going into this marathon run after a while, and we're in a marathon. So if you can imagine that you're in a marathon and you're getting really tired and bored and you just have to keep going and you don't really see the end to it, that's exactly when you just keep going. And now it is a time to practice positive attitude. So often we practice positive attitude when we are staying home, when everything is going really well. But the positive attitude, actually you're practicing it when you're out there, keep doing it, and nothing seems to be happening. That's when you need to put the positive attitude and visualization working. And so then there's like a second energy coming up, just like in a marathon. And this happens again and again and again. And it could happen because you've gone to the events. Often it is for that reason. You've gone to the weekly meetings, you've gone to, you know, Super Sundays, whatever we're organizing. Or it could be just simply that you're reading the book Success Principles by Jack Canfield, or the 7 Steps of Getting Pro with Eric Rohr. All these kind of things just helps you to get motivated. Now, I remember when I was probably a year into this business, and I was still doing my day job in a makeup artistry, and I was building this, and I was so tired, and negativity started really playing up with me, and I felt quite a victim because I was just so tired. But it was worth it when I look at it back, that period. But also, that was actually an enormous gift for me, that period, because we don't really truly see our negativity until life pushes us into the corner. And that's when our negativity really arises, that's actually living inside of us, that we are not even aware of it. And that is the time to change. That is the perfect timing if you're in that exercising or lifting or weights. This is exactly the time when you practice in becoming positive. And because I did that, I feel personally, I'm like a day and night with the attitude, what I used to have and what I have now. So just keep going when things happen, because you probably will be just about something amazing will happen. And I've seen it several times, people stop doing this business because nothing happens. And I'm like, no, this is not the time to stop. This is time to go harder. Because when they stop, you're going backwards again, and you have to start this journey all over again. And also you're telling a lie when you say that I want this, and then suddenly doubt comes and you say, no, I don't want this. And so you're going forward and backwards and forward and backwards, and then you wonder why you're not getting anywhere. So I just kept constantly just laser focused, keep wanting the same thing and same time, but by helping, via helping, that's the vehicle, helping others. But if it got so hard and so tough, I didn't think about quitting. I didn't think about not doing it. I didn't think about adding another job. I didn't think about adding another business into my life. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that keep going. And even I read somewhere, when you get successful, or successful people have several different avenues of earning income. They don't mean several different jobs. They just mean that it's smart that you put that money into the property. It's smart that you put in some money into the shares, if you understand them. And it's smart to stay in a one business until you succeed. So we need to graduate it from a one business fully. Also, that leads me to one thing I want to share is that when people start this business, we all have that creative urge in us, and we want to do it our way. But I would highly recommend it, that do it exactly what the success people do it, to the T, and exactly what the success formula is in Nucerity. Once you learn that, then you put your own creativity in it. And Christmas time, my two friends passed away 5 days apart, and I locked myself into my theater room. I have one of them these days, and I watched these shows. They are cooking shows. They were the Michelin chef, how they got themselves where they were, and it was absolutely fascinating. First, that it was the photography, and it was just stunning, absolutely stunning colors. But what happened is that all these people, they started from somewhere and struggling, and they had to open their own business and so on. And a lot of people have a very romantic view about opening your own business. They think that, okay, I'll open the doors, customers will come, everything goes really well, and profit keeps coming, and everything is easy. It's not like that at all. 9 out of 10 restaurants dies first year. So anyway, so these Michelin chefs, all of them pretty much went through this several years. They were working in France, and they had to learn exactly to do it, what's been years and years and years been doing sauces and cooking and so on. And one of them was absolutely frustrated and decided not to do it that way and wanted to be creative from day one. So she got with her creativity certain distance, but couldn't go further because she didn't have the knowledge of the basic things in cooking life. These others, they went through that boring period. According to them, it was boring because they couldn't be creative, because they had to copy everything what somebody has told years and years and years. So this creative person hit this place that she didn't know what to do with any more creative and go further. So now she had to self-learn, and she had to take 3 times longer to do that, to learn that same period, what most people did at here in the beginning stages. So this is why I'm saying it. Try not to be too creative how to do this business. This is a very simple business. Follow the success formula, and once you are successful and you learned everything, yes, you can put your own spin to it. So that's my advice.
Eva, you talk about the success formula. To you, what are the critical elements that you would drive home to everyone of that success formula? We're a business built on relationships. We're a business built on duplication. So what are those absolute pillars of the success formula that you would tell our team to follow to the T?
Okay, so let's start at writing names down. So my own experience, it's so funny because when I started it, I honestly thought that I knew only 2 people in this whole wide world. And I cannot believe how narrow-minded I was. But that's because I had created it my life that small. I was too afraid to look anything else. And now today, I have names popping constantly into my head. People I've been working with, people, who served for me, people, I'm met many, many times, when I just go to shopping or do anything like that. So especially the weddings and movie sets and TV commercials, my call sheets are full of people that I know them and I can contact them. So now it's expanded like amazingly. But in the beginning, it was like, no, I don't know anything more than 2 people. I only know 2 people, And so that's number one, is that try not to keep yourself so small. Allow yourself to go through and go, who am I been spending time last, 20 years? Emails, Facebook, phone book, you name it, they are there. So write the names down. Then I think the most important skill to learn in this business is intriguing. And if we are not supposed to be a message, we are supposed to just purely wake up that interest to hear it more. So I had somebody who said that, well, is that then a little bit like cheating or giving a false information, or because you're not telling straight away everything? No, it's not that, because the why we're doing it this way is simply because if you're saying those, you're new and you go and trying to explain this business, often a new person goes like, hey, I just got started this skincare and we're selling a products and it's a network marketing. You just killed it, everything right there, that moment. And if you're new, you probably don't realize it, but you just killed it, the whole thing. So this is what we're trying to do, is that we're not trying to force this business to anybody, but we just wanting to give opportunity to listen the whole story before you make up your mind. After that, it's totally up to the person. We're trusting that the person can make their best choice for themselves after they have listened the full story. All right, and that's like everything in life, if you hear it only partially, you cannot make up your decision about it at all. You have to hear it, the whole thing, then you can make an intelligent decision. So that's the same thing. So intrigue is very, very important. And then sharing. So sharing happens naturally when you become a product of the product and you're using these products. So that happens, just like everybody else, they go to their favorite restaurant, they go to their doctor, they, taken mother's recipe for sore throat, we share it just about everything what we believe in. So same thing, if you read about this product, study about products, use them, there's no doubt about it, you're going to start believing them. And after belief, what comes, it's even more important. It becomes knowing. So belief is still when we're not 100% sure, but when it comes to knowing, that's nobody can doubt that. And once you have knowing, you can say only a few words and that resonates so amazingly to another person's ear that you don't have to say much because you know these products are incredible. So that's what you need to do. We all need to do, me too. And then lastly is a follow-up. And this is really hard sometimes, but exactly anything is hard when we started. Driving a car is hard in the beginning. So when you practice it, after a while, it's really, really easy. But following up, you know, it's not one of those following ups that, you know, you ring 3 times a day and 7 days a week and you know, threatening them that why they don't buy new charity. It's not quite that kind of following up. It's more like yes. It's more like
if you see this.
yeah. Sorry, Pam. We love you, Pam. So it's more like following up is, you know, when you leave the person, hey, would it be okay if the person has said no to you? You say, hey, would it be okay if I just share some successes with you now and then? And I don't think anybody will say no to that. And then you can say, oh my gosh, look at it, my girlfriend's before and after. I just wanted to share with you. I'm so excited about it. Or, you know, we get a new product or something. Hey, have you seen this? It's about Elite. It's our new product. You know, when I started taking it, my sugar craving left. I started sleeping so well, you know. And, you know, if you know anybody who's suffering any of those issues like I did, just let me know. It's anything like this kind of following up rather. Or what did you think about that link you just saw it? Or what did you think about that Tuesday night, Wednesday night, you know, presentation, anything like this, but gentle way following up. So those are the most important things. And then obviously the weekly meetings. Now, not everybody's seeing a value in weekly meeting. I have seen a value in it and I still see the value. And to me, it is a community, and a community is really important. We can be together via, you know, technology, which is great. But nothing beats that community, be together with like-minded people. You know, some people have the drinks and, you know, food, and it's just great to catch up. And it's just a family environment. And other people come for that reason for our business, because they just get that love that we're sharing it with others. And I had just had I have quite a new girl joining into my business. Her name is Sarah. I think she's only been 3 weeks on it. And she just only a couple of days ago shared with me that when she came to our weekly meeting, she was sitting there and she couldn't believe it that one girl from the left was saying it, hey, how are you? And asking all sorts of questions, where you're from. And then one girl from the right started asking, and then people from the front were saying hello. And she said she hasn't felt that warm for a long, long time. And I just went like, isn't that really, really lovely how we welcome everybody into the business? I just love that. So thank you for sharing that, Sarah, if you're listening this. Yeah, so those kind of things are really super important.
I think one thing that just jumped out at me then was when you use the word, when you go from belief. You know, we hear about finding our belief in the business, which comes from particularly like going to events and then learning to build event to event. But it was just the way you then looked down to me. It felt like it just went straight to my heart when you said, oh, you go from belief to knowing.
Yeah.
And it's that knowing that helps you when, you know, you're shielding yourself from the occasional naysayer or let's face it, we're dealing with people that we sometimes have, you know, people, we're dealing with their concerns or their complaints or their whinges. Is that, I guess, fair to say for you, it's that knowing that you're in the right place with the right company, with the right community, that there is just no doubt now for you. I mean, I know it's easy. You're our first millionaire in Australia. It's easy for you to say, hey, yeah, it works. It's easy to diss the naysayers. But in all fairness, a lot of people watching would be thinking, gosh, you know, I still am building my armor. I'm building my belief and my knowing. It sounds like that is absolutely crucial, Eva.
It was a little bit cutting off, so if I'm not answering your question, please just answer it again. I'm still building, and I go through also those no's, and they do affect. They definitely, without no doubt, affects when you hear no. But what I learned is that when you don't have an attachment to the outcome and you're just trying to do every step on the way right. So when you have a mindset of that you want to help you are the giver, and not the mindset that you're going to go there and get people. If we're going to talk about, I'm going to get this person, I'm going to get that person, then you're going to get super disappointed when you didn't get them. But if you go out there, I'm going to help somebody, and I simply just want to learn to deliver it the most beautiful way, and I won't have any attachment to the outcome, then how can you go, upset when people say no? You were just delivering message and delivering message and delivering message, and people say no, yes, whatever, or no, yes. It can go anyway. So it's still, yes, I still feel it, but it doesn't last anymore so long. 4 years ago, I think I couldn't talk to anybody for 2 days. I was so disappointed. But now it's just like for a few minutes, it is there, and then I just like, it's okay, it's all right, it wasn't the right timing for her. Or maybe I didn't deliver it the right way. So I always like to looking at it myself first in everything I do. And I just go like, how can I improve myself? Like often I feel like I don't get understood with my English properly. So this is how I learned English on my own, because I always look at it that I cannot change you to try to understand me better, but I can become better communicator. So I can try to communicate it in an easier, more simpler way or whatever. And that's how I learned it. And same thing in this business. Whenever something doesn't work my way, I look at it, so where is it I need to tweak it, that it works better? How can I become a better intriguer, inviter, a presenter, follow up, whatever there is. And that is then becomes a self-growth in this business, personal growth. And that you do it while you're working and while you're building this business. And that becomes so rewarding. And the best part is that no one can take that away from you. You absolutely own it 100%. So whatever happens in your life, you have that for the rest of your life. You never lose it once you have it.
And it obviously comes over time. And as you said, it's something that I think you coached us, that to be open to the personal growth that comes with your growth in this business. It certainly slapped me in the face a few times. And I'm sure you wanted to slap me in the face a few times. But the thing is, could I ask you if we have distributors listening at the moment who are thinking, gosh, I have these beautiful people in my team and they say they really want it. I feel I'm mentoring them. I'm encouraging them to turn up at meetings. Our online's there for them. All the tools are there. But I get that, oh, they're busy, or they've got something else to do, or you get excuse after excuse, and you're not their mum, you're not their boss, so you just smile and say that's okay. How long do you listen to that before you think, that's not okay, that's bloody frustrating, and I'm going to lose it? What do you do then? What do you do with these beautiful people that are becoming, you thought they were going to be eagles and they're flat chickens and they're driving you crazy?
Yeah, I understand that definitely. The bottom line is they don't want it enough. And so why they don't want it enough? Because they haven't found what they want and why they want it. So we cannot simply get what we want when we're not clear about it, what we want. And so if I say to you, Kim, that I'll take you to holiday, that there will be, beautiful blue sky, and it will be sunshine and blue water. So let's go.
I mean,
yeah. So, but where do you go? What time? What you're going to wear? What airplane you're going to take? What airport? How long you're going to go? What are you going to tell your family when you're going to come back? You see what I mean? So often we say that I want quality time with my family. I want to have a lot of freedom. I want to have lots of money. But life is not going to deliver for you like that. You have to be really, really accurate what you want. So you know, if we go to holiday, we've probably been doing research for a while. What is the best holiday place? We're comparing hotel rooms. We're absolutely to the T. We know what kind of hotel room we want. Then we're looking at the clothes and we're packing them. We watch it, looking at the clock a million times when it's time to go to the airport. You know, we know everything to the detail to get to that destination. So when you decided to want something, then work backwards and go like, what do you need to do? And come into the one simple step. So if you want to be a diamond, then come down. What do you need to do now? So if it says there that you are bronze and you have to go to silver, then look at it. What is it that you need to do from bronze to silver? And just go like this. It's easier. That's how I did it personally, step by step. And if you had a momentum going, then go 2 steps up. But if you don't have a momentum going, it's you're not going to achieve it if you are a bronze and you say, I'm going to be diamond, you know, next month. There's a learning to do. And also, you know, if I suddenly say somebody who is on a silver rank and I said, okay, now I want you to do everything what the yellow diamond does, you know, the presentations, the training, that person hasn't grown into that position yet. So there's a lot of personal growth to go through. So when you have obstacles coming up and boredom and can't find anybody and people are not responding to you and you can't get them to be trained, coming to the trainings, that means that that is exactly what you need to learn to change yourself to become a different person so you can get to that diamond level. And so we have to become that diamond before it actually happens. So you have to become and be a diamond before you are diamond. That's how it works. So what I go back to those people, I just say that, you know, we haven't found your why, because once you found your why, you will do anything, absolutely anything. Yeah. So I would say that they just simply haven't gotten bottom of their why. That's all.
That's really good advice. I'm just looking, a few of the girls, they're just loving this ever, and Cassie Bingham has said to everybody, well, no pressure, no diamond. Cassie, believe me. It's so true. It's so true. I just, I won't hold you up for too much longer. I know that the girls are raising their hands madly here and we could talk all night. But I guess you did touch on the weekly meeting, and obviously we started at the beginning of this interview, the excitement for Houston. Just how important is it for us to build event to event? We've got Houston, we've got the post-Houston events around the country, and then of course we have our World East Conference on October 12th this year. Your advice to everybody as far as just get there, visualize it and get there?
Well, it is, you really have to want to go there. But do you know what I did when I started going to the events? I'm really crazy about keeping score of my own progress. And I don't sort of trust what I feel, because one moment I feel absolutely fabulous and next moment I'm just, you know, down in the dumps. So I don't trust how I feel. So what I do, I keep a score, and I always looked at it, you know, how do I do it? How is my business going after being in an event? And I learned that it not particular the first week or second week, but then it's always increased up. And so I kept a score and I looked at it and I go back and I can see after every event, my business has jumped. And so that's what it didn't give me belief, it gave me knowing, and knowing that it works. So I know that the conferences are incredible. And I think Martin and Nathan has really improved how event to event really grows your business. Martin is superb, you know, in that area especially. So she's great. But it's just simply get your people there, because the more people you have in these events, the stronger your team is. Because I remember in biggest events, I make those most gut decisions in my gut that they stick with me for 2 years, and it doesn't shake it off. But it doesn't happen in you know, when I'm just working on it normally. It doesn't matter how much I make a decision, but it's in those events, and also the breakthroughs happening in those events also. And you know, I remember forever trying to figure out the back office points, and then I had a Shannon Raddle who was accountant, and so middle of the night when everybody was sleeping, she and me, we're going through all these back office points and numbers and so on. It was so helpful. So we did this a lot, and then finally figure it out. So this is, you get to know people, and she's not in my, oh no, actually she's one of my plans. I thought she's not even the same line, but sometimes, you know, it could be sidelines, cross lines, whatever, and you make these friendships that they're invaluable. And yeah, they're just, yeah, definitely just trying to get as many people there that they won't be disappointed.
Well, we've got no excuse. The next one is in Brisbane, for goodness sake. We don't even have to go overseas for it.
Yeah.
If you, and I'm putting you on the spot here because we didn't plan these questions together, so just so everyone listening knows this. It's a hard question because I know how much you've given to us over 6 months with the gems. But if you could leave everyone tonight with one thing that they'll carry through with like you did with me, with laser focus and no room for doubt, something they'll carry through with their journey, what would it be?
Don't give up. Honestly, what I know about where this company is heading, actually, yeah, I just got the news today, and we are right on track, and there's something unbelievable ahead of us. Something that is going to blow your heads off.
Oh, you just got me emotional. You're hopeless. You always get me emotional.
I mean, this is real. This is real. This is real. And it may not happen this year, but honestly, it's coming, and it is so incredible. So don't give up. This is one of those businesses that just stick with it. Just stick with it, whatever happens. Do not give up. And also, do something every day towards this business, even if it's a half an hour, even if it's just listening to some kind of recording or a webinar, or you know, chatting with your friends, or anything. Just do it every day, half an hour. Of course, you can increase it. So more productive you are, the more higher your income is. So yes, I started it an hour a day for sure, and I did this for a long time, but then I started increasing it, and eventually I was doing every waking hour I was, because I got so excited about it. And then business started growing, and then when I was able to let go of my day job, then it wasn't so intense, but I loved it so much that what else I would have done. A lot of people say that, well, why I'm still working? Well, actually, I could retire if I wanted it. It's a fact. But what am I going to do with my free time? I've been really thinking about that. Yes, of course, 1 month would be great. And who knows, I might be taking that soon. But it's just that, yeah, this is my life. I love living this. I love seeing everybody and everyone. So I'm not going to never give up. Why would I give up on my life? So try not to separate this as a job from your life, because that's hard. Just realize that this is your part of your life. Life is life. You know, it's not going to change. You call it work or not work. It's just life. So the day when I realized this, I've been retired in my head for a long time now, because I just live my life. And I have my own goals, you know, and I want to do it a little bit more than I've done it before, because I want to reach my own personal goals, or I want to pay the mortgage really, really, really fast, or something like that. And that keeps me super motivated to constantly keep working. But I love helping. So even if I didn't earn any money, I would be still helping people, because that's who I've been always. So, yeah. So just don't give up. Don't give up, and do something towards it every single day. So that's my advice.
There you go, everybody. Team, listen to that. So we're banging on about it. Now you just remember that Eva Bergstrom, our yellow diamond, who no doubt will be our first pink diamond, never give up and do something every day. And you're not winning any fans here with that big tease. I'm a woman and a journalist. That makes me one of the biggest busybodies in the world. So I'm going to find out what you were teasing about then. What's coming ever? So she doesn't drink, everybody, so I can't give her margaritas in Texas. We'll have to work out something. I don't know. Bribe me with a
when you have too much water, then that's when I blab everything.
Well, listen, thank you so much for your time tonight. I know you've just jumped off another Zoom to join us, and we're so grateful. And I know everyone's maxing out the platform tonight. They absolutely love having you on board with us, and I never tire of hearing your story and obviously chatting with you ever. So we're just all blessed to have you in our lives and in this company and driving us. And thank you so much for joining us this evening, beautiful.
My pleasure. Thanks everyone who's been online. Thank you. See you soon.
See you in Texas.
See you in Texas, yes. See
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye everyone. Bye.
Thanks everybody. Bye.